Welcome to 3DPL Tutorials, ArchiCAD. This is the fourth in a series called 9-Minute How-To ArchiCAD Tutorials. And in these 9 minutes, I will be modeling a terrain and using the help of the XYZ feature. For this tutorial, I'll use a Surveyor's topographic AutoCAD drawing. And if I zoom in, you'll see certain important features, like survey stations with benchmarks. The station will show the X and Y coordinates, and the benchmark will show the elevation above ordnance datum, or mean sea level. It also shows spot levels, which in their properties have the same information. Now I'll open ArchiCAD and prepare it for placing an external drawing. First, I'll change the working units to meters, because it's common to find surveyor's drawings drawn in meters. Next, I'll add a new worksheet and I'll name it CAD Terrain 01. Then click on Create, and in File, I'll scroll down to External Content and click on Place External Content. Then I'll select the CAD drawing and open it. A tab will open asking me to select a drawing unit, and this is important. I'll change the unit in ArchiCAD to meters. Then I'll place it on or near the project origin and zoom to fit, but I have to move a survey station precisely onto the project origin, which is set at 0, 0, 0. So I'll zoom into the project origin and drag the triangle marker of survey station 1 directly onto the origin. Now I could just drag the drawing to its correct real-world coordinates, but to check its accuracy, I'll first draw a line from 0, 0, 0, which is now station 1, and type in its X and Y figures. Then in X coordinate, enter the easting figure, then type Y and enter the northing figure. Now the line is drawn. Next, I'll move the drawing by selecting it and entering the same figures in the same way, and the drawing will disappear from view. For the next operation, I'll click on the ground floor story and switch on Show Survey Point button, which still shows a value of 0, 0, 0. Then I'll open the location settings and update the easting and northing figures to match the AOD figures of the station. Then I'll select Zoom to Survey Point, and you'll see that the line and the drawing and the survey point are all in the right place. So now I'm ready to model the terrain with the mesh tool. But first I'll check its settings. The home story is ground floor and the reference level is sea level. The structure I've set to top surface only, and the material and pen settings you can change to suit. And if you use cover fill, make sure the background fill is set to transparent. Now, one way of modeling is to draw the mesh using the trace as a guide. So I'll draw a rectangle from corner to corner and then look at the result in 3D. Next, I have to select every spot level and change its height to match that shown on the trace reference. So I'll zoom in to show the levels more clearly. And when I click on the first node, you'll see a pet palette jump to the corner. And if I click on the Z height or elevation, another palette will open where you can enter the correct level, which in this case is 9.78. Now, if the pet palette keeps jumping into the corner, you can open Options, then scroll to Work Environment, then click on Dialog Boxes and Palettes, and in the settings, try changing the movement to follow the cursor and the position to jump to preferred position. Now I'll click on a level point shown with an X and move the pet palette to the preferred position and enter the correct level 9.77. I have to keep repeating this process along the edge and updating each spot level height. You can't see any changes yet, so I'll zoom out and zoom into a spot level in the middle of the site, where I have to double click on the X to see the palette, and when I click OK, I will see the spot, and if I click on it, I will be able to update the height in the new palette. Now I'll repeat the process with the next spot level, but if I click on this arrow, I'll see three options. I use Fit to User Ridges because it shows all the ridges I need, whereas Fit to All Ridges is more accurate, but it can slow down the performance. I'll press OK, and you can begin to see the results as the lines start appearing between the points. Now I'll skip ahead a few points as the process is quite lengthy and repetitive, and you can now see the triangulation of the surface on the mesh. And in 3D, the view shows the points I've completed. It also shows that I've still got a long way to go. So at this time, I'm going to finish updating and elevating the rest of the levels, and the next view will be the completed mesh. And here is the completed mesh. So it took me about 20 to 25 seconds to update a single level, and I made a mistake with 2 levels, so about an hour. Well, that's one way of modeling the terrain. It's accurate and effective, and perhaps a lot of users will work this way, but there is a quicker and safer way, the XYZ file. Next, I've moved the terrain to one side and left the trace in its original position in real-world coordinates. And now I'll place an XYZ file. So I'll open File, scroll down to Interoperability, then place the mesh from Surveyors data. A folder opens and I have to find the file. So I'll click on this arrow to change the file type and choose XYZ files. And there is only one available, so I'll select it. Then in the pop-up, I'll change the placement to original location, and when I press OK, the terrain will be placed accurately in real-world coordinates and at the correct elevation AOD. And in 3D, the mesh will show without any errors. And when I change the structure to solid bodies, somehow the model looks a lot neater with a lighter base. The XYZ file, a very efficient and time-saving way of generating a terrain model. It only takes a few minutes if you can get it from your surveyor, but if you can't, then make an XYZ file yourself. After all, I made my own for this tutorial. And if you'd like some help in making an XYZ file, I have a video tutorial showing the process. Now my 9 minutes are almost up, and this brings us to the end of the XYZ terrain tutorial. Thank you for watching. Please press the like button or subscribe or watch my other tutorials.